Hello all. Today I have something on my channel you don't see often, and that's men. But it's with a purpose, okay? I have gathered these men from near and far. I traveled through the countryside to find these men, these he/they bisexual men, to ask them about their experiences dating women, because maybe we can learn from each other. Maybe we disagree and hate each other. I don't know. Do we agree on things when it comes to dating women? Let's see. If you want more lesbians, give this a thumbs up. And if you want more men, comment men. If you want both, send this to your grandma. And without further ado, let's get started. Hello, men, boys, he/theys. Hello all.
Hello. Hello.
How are we? Doing good?
Doing well.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions about dating women, and I need you to be as honest as possible, okay? Okay.
Sounds good.
I didn't get a yes for a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. We're gonna go down. Everyone, name, pronouns, age, and a little fact. We don't need a fact. That's too much.
Yeah.
Do you date women?
Hell yeah, sadly.
I thought of so many history facts that I now have to throw out.
So sad.
My name is Sage. I am 28. My pronouns are he, they, and I do date women.
My name is Noah. I'm 22. Pronouns are he, him, and I do date women.
My name is Jacob. I'm 24. My pronouns are he, him, and I date women.
My name's Jess. I'm 25 and I do date women. Literally, no one asked for this, but you know what? It's fine. Actually, everyone wanted it. Yeah, everyone wanted that. Yeah, I'm in the middle for a reason, sorry.
My name's Isaac, I'm 23, and I do date women.
That sounded sad.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, actually understood.
You know.
Yeah.
My name's Matt.
Yeah.
No, you're good. My name is Matthew. I'm 31. He, him, and hell yeah, I date women.
Two very different answers to dating women. Very enthusiastic and then very, just like, you were just thinking about something. Okay, when was the first time you heard the word lesbian, and was it in a positive or negative way? We're gonna start with you and we're gonna go down this way. Why do I feel like we're at like a Trevor Project seminar?
It's the white background.
This is why you should donate to GLAAD.
I was probably 12 on a Boy Scout trip. It wasn't positive or negative, it was just something that was secretive. Someone's sister is a lesbian and it was like, just don't tell anyone. But that was 2004, 2008.
Very different time.
I'd say I first heard the word lesbian when I was like in middle school, because I had friends who were, lesbians, and it was, rather neutral or positive thing.
I can't remember the exact context of when I first learned it, but I do believe it was elementary school, and it may not have been in a positive context.
How so?
Like they've said, it was a different time, and these were the times when people would say that's gay pretty regularly, not using that in a very friendly way. I feel that when I learned the term lesbian, I don't think it was to educate me and make me progressive and all that.
Okay. I remember the first time I heard the word bi, and I went home to my parents and I said, I know what the word bi means. And they were like, what the first time I heard the word lesbian, I don't remember, but I do know there's a video of me at 8 years old grabbing my best friend's arm and saying we're lesbians. So take with that as you will. I have to be honest, I was probably being a little homophobic, but maybe a little internalized. Kind of cute. It was definitely said in a negative way at my school. I feel like in the locker rooms, for me as a girl, there was you don't want to change in front of this person, they're a lesbian, which feels like your level of maturity is to the floor if you say that. Especially now. I hope that stopped. I have no idea. But I would hope. Okay, what about you?
So I'm from the South, from Texas, so it's like, are you one of them lesbians? So that's probably not
That's a compliment for me.
Yeah, you one of them lesbians?
Yes.
Yeah. That was the connotation I got.
Wait,
what is that?
Can we explore that a little?
So, in the South, it's very homophobic.
Were the guys into it, or was it
Yes, I found this word. It's not towards just lesbians.
just queer women in general?
Yes, I found this word. It's called chaser, but I called them predators because they're hunting, they're dead hunting.
Lesbian hunter.
Yeah.
Have you seen that TikTok?
That's off TikTok? I'm gonna look it
No,
up now.
yeah, it's a TikTok. Huh, interesting. Okay. Sometimes older men will show their like homophobia towards lesbians by like also being like,
I'm attracted to you.
it's the #1 most searched thing on Pornhub.
Like 100%.
I'm a bit older, so I came onto YouTube like right when it came out, 2006. YouTube back in the day was a very edgy place. There was no real like.
Of course, you managed to out-crank that Frank.
Yeah. So the. But yeah. So no, I first learned the term through a YouTube video. It was the butt of a joke.
Which video?
Oh, I do not remember that.
Was it like Shane Dawson era? Like,
No, Shane Dawson
earlier?
was. I don't even think he was on the site yet.
Wow.
Yeah, Lisa Nova, Dax Flame, the Wine Cone. Yeah, no, I'm aging myself, and that's fine, you know?
I thought I knew YouTube lore.
I'm a YouTube veteran. I've been in the trenches.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Well, that was very interesting. Thank you for sharing, guys. Can you name what you typically do for a first date with a woman?
Most of them are parks or the beach.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of other details. I haven't been on that many dates.
That's very wholesome, though.
Like mostly nature.
Honestly, I've never actually been on a date with anyone in general. I've had very little experience with like dating in general, so I don't know.
The world's your oyster.
If I'm being honest, I don't have a lot of experience either, but dinner and a movie tends to just be a go-to. It's simple, and things that make me happy.
For me, as someone that has dated men, I feel like I have noticed a trend, I don't know, of men just wanting a hookup the first date. Have any of you partaken? Perhaps. Is this a safe space?
Yeah, as long as they got their paperwork, they're clean. I'm clean. Let's go.
As long as there's consent on both ends, absolutely. What do I do on a first date? I don't know, because I'm a princess and I want the other person to pick what we're gonna do. So, okay, what about you?
I said I on the first date.
You on the first date. Okay, I appreciate
If
your
the
honesty.
paperwork is there and they're clean, I'm clean, we're good.
Absolutely. What about you?
It depends on the vibes and everything else. Drinks, usually.
Does that lead to hooking up? I feel like that does a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, it depends on how the date goes and everything like that.
Do you feel that's always a bad thing? I don't
That's
think.
not a bad thing. If it's two consenting adults, I don't
If it's
think
two consenting adults, I agree.
Yeah. I try to avoid anything that time locks somebody in. So like, for example, like, it's silly, but I have a friend who, because they work at Disney, they can go to Disney whenever they want, and they do first dates at Disneyland, which I think is a terrible idea. The idea is just something that's incredibly low risk, where like, you can get to know somebody, but like if the vibe isn't there, there's definitely, a way for either party to exit.
That's great, because I've been stuck on some really bad dates and I don't know how to get out sometimes. There was one guy, I told him what I do content-wise, and he was like, I could cancel you in any minute. This is 10 minutes into meeting this guy. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm terrified. I could just lie and just cancel you. And then he was like, do any of your other friends do content creation? I was like, yeah, like my best friend I live with, she does like trans advocacy. And he like flat out just says the word, and he's like, I could say you said that. And I was like, no, like, what the actual Take a guess, everyone here. How long do you think I stayed on that date with that man after he said that?
40 to 50 minutes?
30 minutes. I was gonna say 10 minutes.
Keep guessing.
An hour.
Okay.
Any amount of time more is horrific.
5 hours.
Wow.
I'm not good at setting boundaries.
Well, and that's kind of what I wanted to add on. I don't think a lot of guys realize the social dynamic that's at play in regards to when they go on a first date with a woman is just purely of, is this person going to hurt me?
Yeah. I also feel like a lot of girls just feel like they have to say yes to things. Like
Yes, exactly.
I just felt like he was like, let's keep hanging out. And I was like, and then
Yeah.
When I go back to my bedroom, it's more comfy.
I have my paperwork and everything.
I would never that man, and he did not get anything from me. All right, let's keep going. Is appearance or physical attraction a deal breaker for you?
Honestly, I'm like really only attracted to people that are kind.
That's very sweet.
That's
very sweet.
I would say no.
I think it's definitely not the most important thing, but at the same time, it's hard for me to imagine wanting to continue dating somebody who I'm just not physically attracted to at all. Like, I feel like their personality and their values, these are really important things and ultimately the most important things. But if I don't think somebody is attractive at all, it's hard for me to imagine continuing with them. So kind of, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I relate. I feel like Wait, I totally lost my words. When I'm dating people, I don't like people like right away on the first date because I'm like, I literally don't know you. You're a stranger sitting across from me, and it takes time for me to like feel more attraction. There has to be like some physical attraction. Like I feel like I have like a type and stuff like, you know what I mean? But for me, it's definitely a personality thing first. But like if someone's hot, like, I mean, that's great too. If I think someone's hot, absolutely, that's wonderful. But like I have some friends that have dated some people because they think they're really hot, but then they're just the worst people. And I'm like, he's not worth it. No one's hot enough for that. No one's hot enough to be an asshole.
Well, so as the question, is physical attraction a deal breaker for you? Or like if you're...
No, I don't think so.
I fall in the type category, but the thing is, if I can't laugh or joke, because I'm a giggler. I giggle.
You're giggly.
I
No,
am.
that is important.
So I'm a giggler. I'll kick my feet, but also if I'm going to dates, I want them to be hot. You know?
Yeah. Okay, and that's valid, and we don't judge you for that. Yeah,
Just
a little
bit.
giggle, a little physical attraction, a mix of both. Put it all together.
Blended. I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker, but most of the time I'm meeting people like on the apps and everything, and it's kind of the first thing you see, and so it's something you heavily take into consideration. But like if I'm reading through your bio and everything like that, then yeah, like, but if I'm meeting somebody for the first time, no, I think it's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely something I take into consideration.
Do you think women or men have it harder when it comes to dating? Be so real. Be so honest.
Canceled right now.
Well, obviously women, but like...
I feel like you're like looking at me for the right. Okay. Do you want me to go first? I can go first. Okay. I think that there's pros and cons to both sides because I have heard that for women it's easier to get dates, but at the same time for women there's a lot of like, for example, if you're someone that does a lot of makeup like me, I am doing like 2 hours to just go on a date with someone, and like then for example some guy says some transphobic thing about my best friend, and then I just have to sit there wasting a perfectly good face of makeup when he just showed up in his ugly shirt. So clearly this date said
Just directed at this person the whole
like what you were saying, I think there's more that women have to worry about on dates, especially like women going on dates with men. Like there's a lot
With strangers.
You guys are great, but there's a lot. Yeah, I have also heard the male side. I've heard people say that they have to just keep swiping and like hope that one person will swipe right. And like women have like a ton of matches and they'll like kind of respond because they have so many matches. But like sometimes I've heard men feel like they have to lead the conversation a lot. I'm open to everything is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, now one of you go.
I'm happy to add in. I think there are pros and cons to both sides. I think you're completely right in the fact that it's a numbers game. At least that's for what it's been described for me. I'm not like on Tinder just swiping right a whole bunch. But I have plenty of friends where it's not as easy. And so there's a lot of like just going through and just hoping for the best. Meanwhile, like all my girlfriends, it's like an overwhelming amount of matches. And like the problem is maybe like it's not exactly what she's looking for.
Okay.
But to find the person that she's looking for takes a lot of effort. And so if she maybe finally sends a message or responds, like maybe it's not everything the guy's looking for in regards to effort or energy. And so I think honestly just like online dating.
Yeah, that shit. Why does it feel like online shopping, but like for humans? Like it feels like a Black Mirror episode. It's fucking weird. It's really weird to see someone's face before
And you have
like...
to market yourself, and you have to make yourself like seem like this amazing person when
You have to like seem like you care, but also like not too much.
and that you have friends and that you do things,
Which is really hard for me. I've not.
And yeah, and it's just there's a photo of me on my dating app of me with my friend's golden retriever. That's not my dog, but it was a great photo of me.
But it performed well.
It performed well.
Here's the thing: if there's a fish in your picture, less matches. I can guarantee you, no one wants to see that.
But that fish was so cool, and the effort that it went into catching that fish.
I can guarantee every girl's like, that's impressive. I wanted to see that dead fish.
No, you throw him back.
Listen, the fish is getting new experiences.
He's never breathed there like that.
Fish is seeing the outside world. Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
What was the question?
What the is the question?
Who has it harder, men or women?
Who is it harder?
Who's harder, men or women? Who's it harder? I haven't been on dating apps in a long time. So in person, it's kind of just go by friend vibes at first, and then you can kind of tell if somebody sees you as a piece of meat. That's my point of view on it, but also going on to the men, because I go both ways. I'm so picky with men.
Okay.
Because a lot of men are nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like a lot of gay men could be more inclusive towards bisexual men, but that's like another
Yeah.
conversation.
Another time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
they're
another
incredibly
time.
June's over. I have to go back.
Okay, what about you guys?
Most of my thoughts have already been said, but I would agree that
Perfect.
I think women generally have an easier time getting dates, and women also have it tougher in that they have more to be aware of and look out for. I think all things considered, I would say women have it harder.
Do you typically pay on the first date? Like, even hypothetical. There's no wrong answer.
You gotta read the vibes, and like if you're on a date with a girl or a guy, we're talking
There's
about
a lot
women.
of-
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I like it to be split 50-50 early on, and then
I like that.
see who has more money, I guess.
Yeah, because when you get married, you'll be splitting the bank.
Yeah.
See who has more money. I love it. Let's compare bank accounts right now. What about you?
I totally agree.
I mean, if I'm the one who asked her out, then I would pay the whole thing, at least on the first date. And if I were asked, I would probably still offer. But also, if she insists, then I'll let her. I kind of like whoever asks, it makes sense for them to be prepared to cover the bill. But also, if I were asked, I would still offer.
That's very nice. I agree. I feel like whoever asked sometimes, but also like sometimes I love a little split moment. When I was dating men, sometimes they would just literally show up in their fucking grandma's t-shirt, and I'm like, I just spent 4 hours on makeup for you. The least you could do. It's $20. It was 4 hours of my time. Now I only date women. I will say things do go 50-50 a lot more, which I actually like. It puts a lot of pressure off, and I also feel like I fall less into like a heteronormative, oh, I should have to look in my purse for my credit card for 3 minutes. I have done that so many times. And here's the thing, it actually works for me because I have so much stuff in my bag that it actually does take me like 3 minutes to find my credit card. It's actually not even an act, but like it's a little convenient.
Let's get you a wallet.
Yeah.
I'll pay the bill if you want me to. It basically is whoever pulls out their phone first to tap to pay. That's the vibe.
Tap to pay?
I love it because like you'll be like,
Well,
okay,
restaurant, yeah, well that's true.
like a cafe for like a first or like
An
something
Apple Pay moment. It's almost like a buzzer with Apple Pay. And it's like, okay.
who's faster.
Who's faster, yeah.
It depends who invited who, and also I think it's a communication. Life finds a way.
Yeah. The next question's a little invasive, so not everyone has to answer this. Moving back to lesbians, have you ever watched lesbian porn? Be so honest. I feel like no one's gonna want to answer this.
Tried it, wasn't my cup of tea.
Thank you so much for giving the honest answer.
I'll answer no.
That's interesting. I think, isn't it the #1 most searched thing on Pornhub?
A lot of straight people watch porn.
Yeah.
I will say I actually recently have discovered a lot of like straight girlfriends of mine that also watch lesbian porn, which is very interesting. I'm like,
Girls are hot.
Yeah.
Boys are sometimes hot.
Yeah.
yeah,
Boy,
sometimes they're not.
We're bi, so like I don't know, like it's just never really appealed. And also,
Okay.
it didn't really feel like it was for me. So it never
As
was
a
like,
lesbian, I don't think it's for us either.
who's it for?
I don't know, because like those are definitely like 90% of the time they're not.
It's
they're
a
not
lot more
lesbians.
performative.
Yes. Yeah.
I like when they actually love each other.
Yeah.
Like in
That-
all.
that
I
could
want to
be
see
kind
them
of
build
nice.
IKEA furniture together.
Pretty
Okay.
much same. I have, but not into it.
Same.
Gotcha. Wow. Oh wait, are we asking me? Oh, or were you asking him?
Yeah.
You don't have to answer that. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, fun fact, I don't watch any porn at all. I can't even read sex scenes in books. I get very turned off by the idea of like watching someone else have sex, which I know other people like that, but I like, no, I need to like get to know you emotionally, that I'm like, that's just a body, like, I don't care about you. So I don't know, just a fun fact. I watched porn the first time with she showed it to me. Yeah.
How do you feel about TV shows where the character starts getting built out and they start building out that entire relationship, and then finally, like Bridgerton,
They
for
die?
example. No, not they die, and then they do it.
Wait, as in like a slow burn? Like, how do I love a slow burn? But here's the thing: once they have the slow burn and have the idea that they had sex, I'm done. I'm out. I don't need to see them have sex.
Okay. Like Bridgerton, like the carriage scene, too much.
I actually was a little more okay with that because it was a little bit more about like their facial expressions. I feel like
You put that on replay.
it was quite it was a hot scene. I actually did like that one. Oops. And I don't like a lot of sex scenes. It felt gentle. Have you ever dated a queer woman? Obviously, we know the answer for me is no.
No.
But you are queer, you said, correct?
Yeah, I've just never dated a queer woman.
Interesting. The world is still open to you. There's lots of queer women out there.
I believe so. My only relationship I had, I think she was bi. I don't remember. It was like a year and a half ago.
It was a vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I've gone on a date with a queer woman, but dated like continuously, no.
I've dated queer women and I love them.
I scissored my ex.
Wow. You're really giving honest answers.
I love to be honest.
Yeah, no, we need,
It counts.
absolutely. This is what queer advocacy is.
Just raw and unfiltered.
Absolutely.
No, wear a condom if you have a pole, derm, dam, anything.
I like that you knew what that was. A dental dam. A lot of people don't know what that is.
I've been with lesbians.
So you get it. Absolutely.
Yes. Is there more to that, or yes?
It leads into the next question.
Yes,
which
that's
is,
what I was kind of waiting on.
Has it been difficult for you in the past dating a queer woman? For those of you that did say yes.
No.
Do you feel like there was anything different in the relationship?
I think honestly, communication was a lot better. I think they knew who they were. Yeah, we're just better communicators.
Preach. I felt more accepting as myself because I came out late. Everybody was like, "You're gay. You're gay." I'm like, "No, guys, I'm straight. I swear." And then being with them, I was more comfortable with myself to let me come out.
That's very sweet.
I wouldn't say that the experience that I do have, the fact that a woman was queer, I wouldn't say that that was a factor that made it more difficult. Not a lot of experience, but I wouldn't say so.
And then you both said no, right?
All heteros.
All heteros.
All heteros. Why do we think so many men are terrible to trans women they date? I'll go first. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like, you know, they say like women care so much about their friends and what their friends think. I have seen so many men that just act very different when they're around their friends. The banter they have is so transphobic, homophobic, and I feel like it's not that they're not attracted to trans women, they're scared of how that's gonna affect other people's perceptions of them, which is kind of self-centered because it's not always about you. And also, you have the opportunity to date like a beautiful woman. Why would you turn that down? You kind of suck. Sorry, okay.
No, I would agree with that. I definitely think that the perception of others is a factor for a lot of men, unfortunately. I also think a lot of men, really just a lot of people, have a lot of unlearning to do. I know that I did and still do. I can't say that I'm done learning yet, but I think that that's what a handful of it comes down to, is lack of education and even knowing what is appropriate. But I think we're headed in the right direction societally. I think we've come a long way in the last decade, and we'll continue to make more progress in the right direction, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. With trans rights, it's a little scary right now, I do fear.
I think the rhetoric coming from Donald Trump and the Republican Party, I think it paints such a bad picture, and there's not a lot of education, and I think any education that could potentially be there, they're trying to stifle. It's just a bad time.
Yeah, a lot of the things they said about gay people, they're now saying about trans people, but it's not going away, and it's really terrifying.
They're just insecure. They're still stuck in the notion of like, I'm man, so I'm manly as and then it's like, just be a person, you know?
Just be a person. They're also like, that's gay, which is invalidating to the trans woman. And also like, did you not see the commercial with, who was it, Hillary Duff? Don't say gay. What about you guys?
I totally agree on that point that a lot of men, they see if like they're dating a trans woman, then like, oh, I'm gay. A lot of internalized homophobia as well, is they think, oh, someone having a penis, that makes them gay.
Yeah.
Just not being comfortable with themselves. I
Yeah.
think it's always the move to get men to go to therapy because they're they need it. So I think it's probably a contributing factor.
It's so interesting because every response has just like not been the trans woman's fault, but then the trans women always are like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? Like, why are these men treating me this way? So I don't know, maybe that's comforting for someone to hear. I mean, it's obviously very but it's just these men and their terrible insecurities. Do you think two moms parent differently than a straight couple?
There's different dynamics at play, but like it's the same way of like, does a single dad or a single mom have a different dynamic than anything else? It could just be two people. Like,
Yeah,
are they two people that love each other and like care about that child? Then I don't think it'd be any different than, you know, like a heteronormative couple.
I think lesbians are amazing moms, and I think not having men in the equation can actually be great for children everywhere, to be honest. No offense to all of you. But at the end of the day, it depends on the lesbians, you know? Like,
You can have a mask and a femme, or as long as they love each other.
as long as they love each other. If a person's a bad person, like, they're not going to be a good parent. Ooh, if someone's having a child...
And that's kind of where I'm coming from on that. Is like anybody can be a bad parent.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. I do think, for example, you're in the pickup line, you're two moms versus like your typical straight couple. Like, there's going to be a different perception of you. I don't know, but I guess for me, I think lesbians are great moms, and I've met lots of lesbian moms, and they're always great parents. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. Lesbians are good moms. Sorry.
It's honestly hard for me to answer. I don't feel like I have met a lot of gay couples with kids.
Oh, it's magical.
I'm sure. I don't doubt it. But I mean, also going back to some of what others were saying, I feel like every couple is going to parent differently. I don't doubt that everything you're saying is right from the lesbian couples you have met, but I don't know that I have the experience meeting lesbian couples with kids to be able to comment or echo the sentiment.
With lesbian parents, there's no man in there to, bring the toxic masculinity that a lot of young boys learn from their dads. It could obviously come from some other male figure in their life, but a lot of times young boys, they learn the toxic masculinity from their dads.
Interesting. Obviously, two women can have internalized misogyny, so like if there's a daughter, maybe that could affect it. But the thing is, like, I feel like I never meet a lesbian with internalized misogyny. They're always like, I want to like either be her or f her, I fear. Sorry.
Yeah, my answer is I think that lesbians are better parents.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have two cats. I am a parent. Thank you.
There's like more that you have to fight against in society, and like being a parent is harder, and it's like more of a choice. It's not as much of like an accidental lesbian parents, and I know a lot of accidental straight parents that didn't want kids.
Right.
So
It can be an expensive choice. It's very deliberate, which I think everyone should be deliberate with having kids. Like if you're having a child, you need to
a friend of mine growing up, her parents were both lesbians and very lovely. So that my statistical analysis is 1 out of 1. Amazing.
We're at 100%. That's great.
Like it's like a 50-50 in the straight community.
That's beautiful. Oh, that's so great. Do you think lesbians or men are better in bed with women? These questions are so good.
Lesbians.
I-
No.
The world in working.
Exactly. It might be more likely to be familiar with the anatomy. Or better at communication, especially when meeting somebody new, I would imagine.
Yeah, I can very confidently answer that lesbians are better. Sorry. We're just leaving.
I
I don't know.
can't
I
speak
do.
to this.
I mean, like, I feel like I fear my opinion does matter more than all of you here.
Yeah, that's kind of where all this like.
I mean, you are the one with experience.
Yeah. Okay.
I just got back from a bachelor party, and it was a little horrific on the knowing about sex scene.
I hear my straight girlfriends talk about their sex lives. I worry for them. I really do. Like, please, if you are a man watching this, like, just learn something.
Cut your nails.
Are men not cutting their nails? Oh my god.
Listen.
Please cut your nails. Please, just educate yourself a little. Watch a lesbian sex ed video. I'll link. I actually have a friend that does make lesbian sex ed videos. Love her, Stevie. Why do you think lesbian relationships move quicker than straight ones?
I moved in with my ex on lesbian time.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
also I moved in with one of my partners like 5 months in.
I was faster than you.
That is quick. Less than a year. I fear Amanda behind the camera has an insane story that beats you.
Less than 3 months?
Second date?
Yeah.
And now you're in the...
I told you I brought in reinforcements. You just got
I
literally.
got out lesbian.
You got out lesbian. What was your time?
3 or 4 months?
I mean, that's still quick.
Yeah. But I do on the first date, so back to that.
Gotcha. Have you ever in the first date and then just like ghosted them after? Why so? Be honest. I hear so many friends of mine that are girls, like they complain about how that makes them feel. So I'm so curious from the other side, like what goes into
listen,
that?
they were all about it, and it felt like they weren't enjoying themselves and that they were just doing it as a piece of meat. So I was like, I could be a piece of meat for a while, and then
They weren't reciprocating kind of thing?
yeah, and they didn't even text me back afterwards, so it doesn't.
Oh, so they didn't text you back.
Both.
Oh, it was a mutual ghost.
We both, and then
Oh, no, I'm talking like you have sex with a girl on the first date. She's like, hey, last night was super fun. And then you just like don't respond after.
I might have done that, but I don't remember
You
that.
know, that's okay. That's okay. We all have to learn. I will say my straight girlfriends do not like that. They do not like that. So
I was probably like in my teens when I did that.
I will say some people do dumb things when they were teens. Not me though.
Perfect.
I was perfect when I was a teenager.
I don't know how much I have to add that hasn't already been covered, but I think kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier about how women have more to worry about or be aware of, I would think that those kinds of factors might just make them able to become comfortable with each other faster than a woman might be able to feel comfortable moving to the next level with a man,
Yeah.
maybe?
Absolutely.
It's a different dynamic than straight relationships. There's more trust there. It's easier to trust someone.
Yeah. From my perspective, I feel like you're more likely to be like best friends with the person while you're dating them versus my straight friends. When they break up with guys, they have nothing in common besides the fact that they were romantic together sometimes. Do you get what I'm saying here? Has a girl ever told you she faked an orgasm?
Nope.
I faked them too.
You have?
Yeah, you just get a bunch of spit when you're behind and be like, I'm gonna take this off and throw it away real quick. You just
I didn't even know you could do that with a...
guys can fake
with
it.
Yeah.
With a...
I've learned something new.
Okay, interesting. Why do you think men think lesbians are a challenge and want to turn them straight?
Is that a thing?
Yes.
I can't speak to that.
I somebody who said they were just lesbian, but then they came on to me. I didn't.
Then they
feel-
probably weren't a lesbian. Or they
True.
probably were bi-curious.
Yeah, probably.
God, I'm loving the storytelling.
I think it's the misogyny. It's like, no, you're not really into women. It's just a phase. You'll
Yeah.
want men later.
There's, honestly, with all queer people, just like I can change you. Or like, people think it's a flex to be able to be like, I hooked up with a lesbian. I was like the one person that they changed their sexuality for, which is like, oh my God, grow up. If that like makes you feel good about yourself, your is small. Anyways, I think that wraps up our video. Any closing thoughts on lesbians?
Love them.
Let's go lesbians.
I should have flashed my.
That's the thumbnail.
That's the thumbnail. I hope you enjoyed that. Comment below what was the most interesting part of this video. Who did you vibe with the most? But please be nice. These were nice men. There's some really scary ones out there, trust me. Be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel. You hate lesbians. Goodbye. Is that really? I'm gonna end it? That's perfect.
Please take the wheel.